Will Modern Warfare save Call of Duty? Now, first of all, what do I mean by save? It's no doubt that COD has fallen out of grace and away from its authentic roots. More recent releases have been over the top to the point of being absolutely freaking bonkers, as well as childish and goofy in many cases. COD hasn't innovated in a very long time, and now largely it plays it safe by rehashing many of the same gameplay elements as previous iterations. Today's COD doesn't take itself seriously, which is compounded by the presence of wacky-ass microtransactions. It's really sad to see how gritty and authentic soldiers fighting in war zones has since devolved into gingerbread men bouncing up and down around in glittery supersuits, jamming candy canes up each other's puckered assholes, and pumpkin spice latte goons shooting each other with fucking unicorn guns. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but the unicorn guns, the gingerbread men and unicorn guns were actual things, goddammit. COD and Activision has grown a really disgusting reputation for nickel and diming their player base with extensive microtransactions that even enter pay-to-win territory with guns locked behind gambling loot crates. Ugh. I mean, they even had that whole, what was it, $1 for a dot fiasco that happened in Black Ops 4, where they were selling a dot for your red dot or holographic sight for a fucking $1. It's a dot, yo. What the fuck? Now, this year's Call of Duty seems like it's really trying to break that cycle by offering a more traditional, boots-on-the-ground, authentic, and gritty Call of Duty that is much more reminiscent of COD 4, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2. There's a lot of hype behind this game, and if they pull it off, we could see a return to the Call of Duty that we all know and love. To into it, I'm just going to give a little bit of some background info so you know just exactly where I'm coming from. I've been playing FPS games my whole life. I played COD 1 all the way to Modern Warfare 3 and played a couple in between like Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 4. I mean, I started with like Halo 1 back in the day, played Halo 2. But nowadays I'm mostly playing CSGO. I play competitively for an ESEA main team. I play a variety of other games from WoW, Escape from Tarkov, another MMO is Elder Scrolls Online. I played a plethora of single-player games, even a couple RTSs. And so I've seen how a lot of things have sort of permeated industry-wide. I've been playing games my whole fucking life, and I play a lot of them. So I have extensive and well-rounded experience gaming, and I guess I could say I'm pretty good too. I know. I know. My dick is massive, obviously. I mean, come on. Now, with all that being said, I seriously believe that Activision and Infinity Ward have a golden opportunity this year to just knock it out of the park. There's huge amounts of interest and hype generated beyond what is typical for Call of Duty. A lot of this is the return to the acclaimed Modern Warfare series, but a lot of this is also positive feedback to what has been shown and played so far. A lot of people outside of the core Call of Duty community are interested. Vets of the franchise, estranged Battlefield players, even elements of more hardcore FPS communities from games like Escape from Tarkov are interested. And the game has seemingly a lot more to offer and can appeal to a wider variety of tastes. Of course, Modern Warfare has the traditional Call of Duty game modes and sizes, but it also has a large player count, 20v20 in the room, and rumored up to 50v50 game modes that will appeal to fans of large games like Battlefield or even Squad. And speaking of more hardcore games like Squad or Escape from Tarkov, there's actually a lot here for those communities to enjoy. Everything down from the attention to detail in the uniforms and the weapons, the grittiness, the sense of authenticity. It's clear that the devs have done their homework, and the animations seem really solid, like they've talked with real-life operators and have discussed how a highly trained Spec Ops operator would move and interact. You can clearly see it, and with the gameplay itself, there's a weightiness to the movement. It seems like everything is impactful. The animations, really fantastic work that I think will appeal to people who appreciate that level of attention to detail. And then, of course, there's the gun porn, right? The gunsmith. You can customize a bunch of different elements of your gun to make it look super tactical, pretty much just the way you want it. And it really, really changes up the way each gun plays and how it feels. Kudos to Infinity Ward because it's a really cool system. But beyond that, there's also realism mode and night vision.
Oh my god, your shit's so loud.
I thought would initially be sort of more niche game modes that are pretty clearly directly appealing to fans of the more hardcore series like Tarkov. But I actually really enjoyed it, and I can see myself playing it much more frequently than I initially thought. And of course, this year's Call of Duty sees the return of campaign for those people who want an immersive and gripping story. And it's being helmed by 2 former Naughty Dog writers, so you know that shit gonna be good. I mean, Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us had very compelling dialogue and memorable stories. 2 of my favorite single-player games of all time, as a matter of fact. Even if the plot was generic or predictable in places, the characters, the dialogue, and acting are the gold standard for the industry, in my honest, humble opinion. And then, of course, there's Spec Ops for that fun co-op shenanigan fun. That's redundant, but fuck you, I don't care. Of course, the all but pretty much confirmed Battle Royale. So the point is, it seems like there's something out there for just about any FPS player. Like, it's crazy. It's really apparent to me that this year's Call of Duty is just absolutely just appealing to a much broader audience, and I think that's one reason why this game is going to be so much more successful. What's more important is that even, especially if you're a person who enjoys, more than one subgenre of FPS, you can always just hop on and play a different game mode. Like, there's so much variety here for just a single game that, man, it's been a long time since I've seen a game like this offer this much to such a wide audience. The response from the community has been largely positive, and the game looks, and in my opinion, played very well in the beta. Now, one of the biggest wins, I think, for this game that will just propel this franchise forward, and it will be the standard moving forward for most, if not all, AAA titles, is crossplay. Crossplay is the future. Period. The population that any individual player can interact with has effectively tripled with the combination of player bases across all platforms. The freedom to play with anyone regardless of platform brings a tear to my eye. The implementation that I've seen so far, with effective steps to balance across the platforms with extensive options in the menu, and input-based matchmaking, will likely be the gold standard going forward. I cannot express enough how huge of a deal crossplay is. Gone are the days of not being able to play with your homies because you're on one console, they're on another, and your other homie over there is playing on PC, and so you have to buy another console, but your mom won't let you because, you already have a PC and an Xbox, but you really want a PlayStation, but you can't own it because you have too many game consoles, too many fucking games, and she's tired of your shit, and she wants you to go outside and play soccer. This is not personal at all, I swear. No, there's none of that. You play the game, you own the game, you play the game, and you play with anyone. It's crazy that it's taken so long for crossplay to be implemented. But goddamn, it's about damn time, and boy, I am glad it's here, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. The potential return to glory is very real if they succeed. They could win back the good graces of the gaming community like the days of Call of Duty 4. And speaking of Call of Duty 4 and sort of old school online multiplayer experience, trash talking is back. Just obscene level of trash talking. It's just shit spewing and insults, profanity, and just toxicity in pregame lobbies. God damn, it's music to my ears. Fuck. I know for some that may be an unpopular opinion, but of course you always have the option to just mute him, Just mute the bitch if he's got you fucked up, And I think that's just such a nice thing to promote the social aspect of the platform. It's something that's sorely missing in game nowadays when everyone's in Discord or in party chat with all their friends, and all the lobbies are dead quiet. Now, it's hitting the nostalgia hard, and man, is it entertaining. Some of these lobbies are freaking hilarious, and if anything, the shit talking just motivates you to just stomp out that shitter, just stomp him out, man. Make you play harder. Anyway, speaking of music to my ears, the soundtrack. I've been listening to some of it. I gotta say, it's pretty damn good. It definitely gives off the dark and foreboding undertones, but still has a good amount of variety. it will get the people going. Now, I'm not quite sure it lives up to, Modern Warfare 2 levels of the legendary soundtrack. I mean, shit, dude. How many tracks are there out in the world that can get you so fucking hyped, so pumped up on adrenaline, that you firmly believe with every fiber of your fucking being that you can full sprint at that fucking concrete wall over there and just smash your head straight through that fucking wall in the same way that the absolute banger of a track, Extraction Point, does. The game looks great. It sounds great. It plays pretty damn well. The community reaction has been overall very positive. The devs have been vocal and receptive to a lot of our feedback. Everything is in place for a really spectacular game to come out this year. So, here's how they can fuck it all up. Smooth technical performance, bugs, and balance. The game needs to run well on all supported platforms. No stuttering, frame drops, rubber banding, crashes, etc. Hopefully we get some good 60Hz servers, maybe not at launch, but hopefully when player counts stabilize. It's imperative that this game runs well. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when poor performance or poor network or whatever, that shit completely ruins the experience, needless to say. Now, I'm pretty hopeful in this regard. When I played the beta, it ran pretty well, not perfectly, but pretty well. And I've seen some of the benchmarks, and they were better than what I got during the beta. So, I'm pretty hopeful in this regard. Moving on to bugs, well, the bugs obviously need to be polished. I'm not too worried in this area because COD has been pretty consistent in this aspect for a while. And maybe that's because they've been working with the same engine for, almost the entirety of COD's existence. But regardless, it's never been much of an issue, so I'm not too worried in this department. Proper balance. Please, no one-man army, akimbo, 1887s, etc. COD has always had shit that's completely and utterly fucking broken, and admittedly, that's part of the fun. But I can only hope that it's nothing too game-breaking to the point of rampant frustration, or something that would completely kill the diversity of the loadouts and playstyles. I'm also hoping for good and memorable maps that aren't strictly 3-lane. The maps we played in the beta I thought were pretty fun. I know not everyone was a fan of them. Personally, I enjoyed them. I know there are more maps we haven't played, but you can't deny that they did break that hard mold of just boring ass 3-lane maps that Black Ops 4. I mean, pretty much every single map was like a 3-lane map in that shit. It got boring very, very fast. So what I played so far, I'm pretty hopeful in that regard. Now, in the past, there have been discrepancies when it comes to weapon balancing across different platforms. Like in Black Ops 4, one gun was considered overpowered on console, but pretty underpowered on PC. I don't think that'll be too big of a deal this time around due to the addition of crossplay. I think the devs are gonna have to take a more sort of holistic approach to how they balance weapons in such a way that your chosen input, whether it's keyboard and mouse or controller, won't drastically change the effectiveness of your weapon. The addition of crossplay, as well as sort of heavy advertising by Nvidia, kind of makes me hopeful that they won't neglect the PC player base this time around. Activision and Call of Duty in general as a franchise has sort of been known to neglect the PC audience, and admittedly most of the players are on console, but man, we still exist too, man, please, But I think, in that regard, again, we're kind of safe by crossplay, so I don't know, even if they do kind of neglect us, we still got people to play with at the end of the day, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Same with, input-based weapon balancing. Kind of a thing of the past thanks to crossplay, I would hope, but we'll see. Next up, skill-based matchmaking. What this effectively is that every player has a hidden MMR. You win a game, you gain ELO. You lose a game, you lose ELO. And depending on how you do in those games, I believe could also potentially affect your ELO. Not 100% on that though. But the point is, what this effectively does is that it makes every single game sweaty. Because you're always going to be against people of similar skill. And as a competitive player coming from competitive Counter-Strike, I definitely understand the fun that comes with sweaty matches where both teams are trying their hardest to win and are sort of going toe-to-toe in terms of skill. With that being said, that sweatiness should be saved for a competitive ranked playlist. COD is primarily casual, and most people are playing to chill and have fun and not sweat their nuts off every single game. For a game that is seemingly appealing to such a wide audience, the exclusion of skill-based matchmaking in regular playlists, and instead the inclusion of a separate, ranked competitive playlist, is a no-brainer to me. Because that way, if you want that sweatiness, you have a place for it, you can go to it. But otherwise, you can just chill for some casual fun. The lack of MMR will add more variety to the gameplay too. Some matches will be easier where you have a better chance at getting the higher kill streaks, while others will be more evenly matched, forcing you to try hard and adapt if you want to do well. Variety works in COD's favor here, and also allows players to experiment more with off-meta classes and gun builds, which would otherwise be discouraged if every game is sweaty and meta builds are required to do well. It's also really hard to notice any sort of improvement in the game when, you play more and you're still sort of doing the same. Your stats aren't getting any better. You're just kind of staying put and treading water. With competitive playlists, like, you can see your MMR, but for just casually playing the game, like, people like to know that they're getting better when they're investing time and effort into something. This is another little thing that will keep people playing and keep people having fun. It's a cool feeling when, you started off playing and, maybe you're only able to get some of the lower kill streaks, but you start farming more and more, and then you're getting the big boy shit, right? Suddenly, you're getting chopper gunners, you're getting fucking AC-130, maybe you get a nuke hero there. That's a cool feeling that you are being rewarded for your investment of your time and your effort, and that is almost, as far as I know, always a good thing. Alright. Now we're getting to some of the spicier topics, right? The other ones were softballs. Now we're getting into some pretty saucy territory. Bullshit cosmetics, right? This game is advertising itself as an authentic military shooter and is clearly trying to appeal to a more mature audience as well as the core COD community. So please, no gingerbread men, no pumpkin spice latte skins, no neon highlighter cosplays. The game should not resemble Fortnite in this regard. And this extends to Gunsmith as well. I really don't want to see bright pink and sparkly guns with all sorts of bullshit attached to it. Keychains and Tamagotchis are, whatever. But needless to fucking say, if I see a pulsating 11-inch texturized silicone Thrustmaster dildo with Extendo semen collection drip tray attached to the end of any guns, my immersion is going to be slightly disrupted. But I digress. This goes on to my next point. Bullshit microtransactions. Oh, here we go. Oh my god, you all knew this was coming. It's Activision we're talking about here. God damn. At this point in time, microtransactions are an industry standard, and COD has been leading the charge for AAA gaming microtransaction tomfuckery. Modern Warfare will have microtransactions, but we can only really hope that they're A, authentic and not immersion breaking, because to many people those things matter, me included. B, fair, both in terms of their pricing or the grindiness, the grind it takes to earn that thing. And C, cosmetic only. There's always the possibility that they try and pull a fast one on us, go back on their word of their promises of, fair systems pre-launch, and just start pumping out really egregious shit after the review cycles and right around the holiday season, when they can start farming little Jimmy's Christmas cash, or his mom's Christmas cash. Kind of tragic actually when you think about it, and pretty exploitative if you ask me. Many in the community are absolutely fed up with the microtransactions, and patience is at an end. And it might not affect the franchise in the short run, as all the kids will still buy the game, but if the hardcore content creators and the hardcore community eventually grow tired and move away from the franchise, well, naturally, the casual fan base will suffer as a result. I think it was Drifter that said that if Modern Warfare puts in the same bullshit loot boxes that they had in Black Ops, and they go down that dark fucking route of, pulling surprise mechanics later into the cycle after the reviews come out, that he would quit the franchise. And I respect the hell out of him for taking that stand. They did come out and detail their microtransaction design and confirm that there will be battle passes in lieu of loot boxes. And this should be taken with a grain of salt, however. Even if there are no loot boxes, I can still come up with a half dozen disgusting systems designed to farm microtransactions off the top of my head. I mean, for example, imagine each new gun is locked behind an XP grind that would take the average player, maybe a fat 3 months to unlock. Or, you could just slide them a sleek $20 to unlock the shit real quick. You see what I'm saying? They are fully capable of finding some other sleazy, predatory microtransaction system that is, well, to their credit, devoid of loot boxes. That way they can say, oh, we hear the community, and we put our foot down and kept the loot boxes out of our game. Meanwhile, some other bogus-ass system has taken its place that they conveniently fail to mention. SMH my fucking head, man. Now, with all this in mind, I still choose to remain cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping that Activision will use COD Mobile as their microtransaction cash cow and leave the main titles free of that gnarly shit. It seems that Activision are aware of the state of their reputation as microtransactivision, as noted from an investor call. They claim that they are committed to rebuilding their brand name with the community, which makes sense when considering the long-term longevity of their revenue stream. I mean, for the last several years, Activision have been more than willing to sacrifice their goodwill with the community for more short-term gains. With the loss of Destiny, I have no doubt that they view the yearly success of COD as imperative to their continued success. It is also important to note how much backlash and negative attention loot boxes and predatory microtransaction systems have become as of late. Gambling in video games has become more and more of an apparent problem as the years have gone by. We've had a long list of scandals: skin betting in CSGO, Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA surprise mechanics, legislative bans on loot boxes. There is no doubt that loot boxes are now being seen as a loophole for underage gambling by mainstream media. And I have no doubt that Activision and Infinity Ward have deemed the risk too great when considering the monumental backlash they would likely receive commercially, critically, and potentially even legally. Going back on their word now would no doubt tank any and all credibility they have left. And now, other miscellaneous trash shit, exclusivity, and free Hong Kong. First up, exclusivity. When I first started drafting this video several weeks ago, even before the beta, I decided to wait until after the beta and the details behind all the game modes were released. Like I said, I had no idea that Activision would stoop to such a baffling level of fuckery with a year-long exclusive deal to have the Spec Ops Survival game mode, which is not the full Spec Ops game mode, I just want to clarify, but the game mode within Spec Ops Survival, exclusive to PS4 for an entire fucking year. At first I thought, oh man, surely not. This has to be some kind of miscommunication or misunderstanding. A month? Fine. But the entirety of the game's expected life cycle? That's fucking ridiculous, man. The fact of the matter is, everyone is paying full price for this game. $60 minimum for this game. And the fact that some people are getting less simply due to their chosen platform is anti-consumer and deplorable. Now, I will concede, however, that we don't know exactly how much money Sony is tossing at their feet. I mean, it could truly be an offer too good to turn down. I'm certainly crunched the numbers and determined that the monetary gain from the deal will outweigh any consumer backlash. I get it, but I'm still fucking pissed about it. I mean, this goes directly against their vision of unifying all the different platforms into one player base that can all play together regardless of what system you're playing on. I mean, how the fuck, like, what happens if all three of your friends decide to go play Spec Ops Survival, and you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass because you got a fucking Xbox, you know? Well, what are you supposed to do? Because your mom got you a fucking Xbox. God damn it, Mom. Why would you build my fucking Xbox? I wanted a PS4. All my friends are playing on PS4. What is this? It's like 2009 all over again, dude. Like, fuck, dude. I'm sitting here like I thought like we fucking beat this shit, right? But here we are, you know? Like, we're back at this shit. We're right back where we started, you know? Like, this is stupid. We've evolved. Crossplay is the future. Having exclusive modes like this, chopping up the game and offering it to different platforms. I mean, that's just... Man, like that... Fuck. All I can think of is, well, Sony must have really thrown a shit ton of money their way. Beyond just having the game, like the esports scene, on PS4. But on that note, I've gone on a bit of a tangent, a bit of a rant. So let's hop back on topic here. Oh shit, look at that. Winnie the Pooh and the Pride of China. Alright. Now I'm sure all of you have heard about the Blizzard China debacle. Well, with Blizzard being a Fucking you, man. Why can't I talk? With Blizzard being a subsidiary of Activision, I'm sure the Activision execs are sweating about future profit projections. Blizzard, in a span of just a little over a year, have torpedoed their image to one that would take the better part of a decade to recover from. Poor management of their existing titles and Diablo mobile phones, and that whole fucking bullshit aside, the China-Hong Kong situation and their continued mishandling of the situation as it develops, it takes the cake as the most degenerate and immoral fuck-up of them all. It's seriously baffling how a multi-billion-dollar company like Blizzard Entertainment can continuously and unfalteringly fuck up to the point where it's the norm. It's expected. Another day goes by, another Blizzard fuck up. It's like they want to tank their fucking stocks. It's confusing as all hell to me. It's kind of entertaining to watch, but it's depressing all the same. It's a roller coaster of emotion, seriously. Anyway, here we go. I'm off the rails a bit, but let's go back to the point. I doubt Activision want to poke the beehive any more than it has already been absolutely obliterated by Blizzard's trash-ass decision-making. I mean, they poked a hole in the beehive, they fucked it, and they yeeted that shit down the hill. They fucking beat it up with sticks, and I'm being a dead horse. You get the point. Fuck, man, this is not a good video anymore. God damn, I've like lost all of my focus here. Focus, goddammit. So, it would make sense for Activision to back off and lay low until the ravenous shitstorm dies down a bit. Which it might not anytime soon. I mean, honestly, this could just totally continue to escalate. You've got BlizzCon coming up around the corner. I mean, the protests in Hong Kong, those aren't going anywhere anytime soon. It's just a fucking mess. So, I think it's in Activision's best interests to avoid controversy, because they're already hurting from controversy, albeit indirectly. So, let's hope that they avoid pushing the microtransaction shit down our throats this time around. Please. The thing that I am worried about the whole avoiding controversy topic is I hope they don't compromise on their artistic vision, particularly when it comes to the campaign. During press exclusive previews, the overall consensus was that this game is dark, and I hope that Infinity Ward don't compromise their original vision of a dark, gritty, and realistic depiction of warfare due to journalists' discomfort. Infinity Ward set out to show the complex and difficult situations that operators are thrusted into on a regular basis, and I hope that they stay true to that. Real war is gruesome and unforgiving, and if we are to treat video games as an art form, then we should embrace it when they enter serious subject matter like this. After all, if Modern Warfare were an HBO miniseries, I doubt anyone would object to the subject matter. Overall, I'm very excited for Modern Warfare, and I've liked a lot of what the dev team has shown and the direction they appear to be taking. The amount of passion oozing out of this game is apparent, and the fact that a lot of veteran devs from Modern Warfare are coming back, many coming from comfortable jobs at other studios even, is a very hopeful sign. However, COD has been in a constant cycle of pre-release hype to overall satisfaction on release to overall frustration and apathy post-launch back to pre-release hype. Activision are aware of this and have used it to their advantage to push sales and microtransactions. Hype, release, microtransactions, abandonment, repeat. It's okay to be excited, but I strongly suggest that you do so with caution. And continue to voice your concerns for the potential pitfalls that this game may take that could sour what is otherwise shaping up to be a magnificent milestone in this franchise's 16-year-long journey. So, will Modern Warfare save Call of Duty? Well, the cop-out answer, and one that's pretty reasonable, is that it's too early to say, since so much can happen post-launch to ruin the experience. But, if I had to go with my gut, man, I really want to say yes. Let's hope this year's COD is a banger and puts the franchise back on top, where we all, despite how much some of us love to hate Call of Duty, we all secretly do want to see Call of Duty return to greatness. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I put a lot of thought into making this, and I'm planning on this being the start of a regular content cycle for this channel. I will be making more videos on Modern Warfare in the future, but I'll also be talking about other games. I also like to make dumb skit videos and other nonsense from time to time. So, if you enjoyed my charming personality, my articulate word vomit, and I don't know, my dog shit video editing, then, well, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment your opinion on Modern Warfare and any other constructive criticism you have for me. It's always appreciated. Follow me on Twitch at MeLLoTTV. Yeah, TTV, by the way, I know. Where I stream Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and sometimes Saturdays if I'm feeling zesty. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Will Modern Warfare save Call of Duty, or will they find yet another way to fuck it up? Thank you guys for watching. I'm MeLLo, and I'll see you guys next time.